The next step will be programming time zones. I've already focused my windows, clicking on the time zones heading here, then clicking on time zone intervals to focus my windows where I want them to be. So to program just a standard time zone, I'm going to hit the plus up here in the tree window. And let's just say I'm programming a time zone that we're just going to use for our daily cardholder access to get into the building, or let's say general access time zone. And maybe our employees work from 7 o'clock a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now, this is what we would consider to be a good name for a time zone. We have in here the actual title, let's say general access. We know that this time zone is going to be used for access. And then we have the definition of that, 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now, we're not going to talk about calendar manage intervals yet. We're going to skip that and hit save and close. So here's my time zone. I'm going to select this time zone, highlight it, and then down here is the interval for this time zone. We always want to make sure that in the tree window, there's always one time zone that's highlighted and selected. Then we know that this is the interval that's going to be applied to that time zone. I'm going to double click on the interval. This interval is going to start at 7 o'clock a.m. and it's going to stop at 5:30 p.m. On what days? Monday through Friday. I can hit save and close. So now we've programmed a time zone that if I use this to give a card holder, give them access to a door using this time zone, they'll be able to access the door from 7 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now, time zones get a little bit more complicated when they span midnight. I'm going to hit the plus again, and let's say I'm going to make a time zone for like a third shift. So I'll make a third shift time zone here, and this time zone I'm going to say starts at 10 o'clock p.m. and ends at 6 o'clock a.m. And again, I'll go with Monday through Friday. So in this time zone, I'm saying the employee comes to work, their first shift is going to be Monday night at 10 p.m. Now again, not using calendar manage yet, hit save and close. Always want to make sure up here that there's only one time zone highlighted and selected. So I'm going to uncheck this and just make sure this is the time zone, the one I'm working with, is highlighted and selected. Now I'm going to double click on my interval down here. The first half of this interval will go from 10 o'clock p.m. Now let's just say I decided to make it till 6 o'clock a.m. And we're going to say Monday through Friday. If I try and save this, it's going to fail. It looks like the stop time comes before the start time. We can't do that. So if we have a time zone that spans midnight, I'm going to close this just to get rid of that interval, and I'm going to start again. This interval will start at 10 o'clock p.m. and it will end at 11:59 and 59 seconds p.m. Monday through Friday. Now I'm going to hit save and new to open up a new interval. The next interval will start where the last one stopped at 12 o'clock a.m. and this one will end at 6 o'clock a.m. On what days? This one is going to be Tuesday through Saturday. There's the time zone. When I come in on Monday, it's 10 o'clock p.m. When I leave, it's 6 o'clock on Tuesday. Just like on Friday. When I come in on Friday, it's 10 o'clock p.m. on Friday night. When I leave, it's 6 o'clock a.m. on Saturday. So there's a time zone now that spans midnight. Now, time zones that are going to be used to unlock door schedules, let's say to unlock doors on a schedule, are automatic reader overrides. They're programmed the same way, but there's another feature we can apply to them. I'm going to create a time zone that, let's say I'm going to use it to unlock my training room door on a schedule. So I'm going to create an ARO, an automatic reader time zone, for my training room 1 door. Now we haven't programmed any hardware yet, but I know that I'm going to in the future program a door that I'm going to call Training Room 1. And I want to have a time zone ready for me to be able to unlock that door during a schedule. So ARO stands for Automatic Reader Override. Some people call these door unlock schedules. You can call it whatever you want. Now, I'm going to say that I want Training Room 1 to be on a schedule of, let's say, 8 o'clock a.m. through 5 o'clock p.m. And again, I'll say Monday through Friday. Now, I'm just going to create this the same way I created the other one, so I'm skipping that calendar manage for right now. Make sure this time zone is highlighted and selected. Click on my interval here. The interval is going to start at 8 a.m. and it's going to stop at 5 o'clock p.m. Monday through Friday. Save it. So there's my time zone now that's going to be used to unlock the door, the Training Room 1 door, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Monday through Friday. Now there was an issue that we used to have in the software where, let's say, maybe on Thursday night, we plan on having a very late meeting in the training room, and we want the Training Room 1 door on Thursday to be unlocked from 6 p.m. until 10 p.m. So this is how it would have had to be managed in the past. The administrator of the software would go into the system here, click on the plus to create a new interval. This interval will start at 6 o'clock p.m. and it will end, let's say, at 11 o'clock p.m. So I want the door to be open until 11 o'clock on Thursday night. Save it. So done. I've now added another interval that will open the training room door. Well, when we apply it to an automatic override, right now we're just getting it ready. But this time zone can be used and applied to the training room door to unlock it from 8 to 5 Monday through Friday. But on Thursday, the door will also be open from 6 to 11. But there's a problem with this because this interval is reoccurring. We're saying every Thursday the door will open from 6 to 11. So the administrator of the system would have to create this interval when they want the door to be open. Then they pretty much have until the next Thursday to go back in here and delete this from the system, or else the next Thursday it would unlock again. Definitely not an ideal situation. We have a better way now. We have a way to make these time zones calendar managed. I'm going to select this calendar managed time zone. Now, I don't want this to be active during a holiday. If this time zone fell on July 4th, let's say, or on July 3rd, whatever day you programmed as your holiday, I don't want this interval to be active, right? If we were saying unlock this door at these days, including if they're holidays, that's when we would select this. So I'm going to leave it not selected and hit my save. Now we have a calendar here. We can manage this right now in a weekly calendar. I'm going to just give myself some more room down here by scrolling that up. So now we can see that this door is going to be open from 8 to 5, but then on Thursday, I'm going to add another interval to this. Well, if I want a door to be open on Thursday just until 11 o'clock, I can just take this here and drag this down to 11 o'clock. Now on Thursday, the door will be open until 11. This is going to happen on Thursday, April 23rd. That's it. Then we go right back to our regular schedule. Now, what if the customer doesn't want the door to be open between that 5 and 6? Then I could click on the day and create a new event. This new event, I'll call it my Training Room 1, late meeting. Meeting. And location, Training Room 1. The more information I put in this window, the more it will show us here on the actual calendar. So this is going to be Training Room 1. The start time for this will be 6 p.m. The end time will be, let's say, 11 o'clock p.m. Okay, so now the door is going to be open from 6 to 11 on Thursday. What if this event, we wanted it to be a reoccurring event? We have the ability to make this reoccur. What if the whole month of May we wanted this to open the door, let's say for some early meeting? So instead of just creating the one event here, I can right click and create a new reoccurring event. This new reoccurring event, I'm going to say is going to start, we'll make an early meeting now. Excuse me. So I'm going to say that this is going to start, let's say at 6 o'clock a.m. And I can just make this a 1 or a 2 hour event by just clicking here. Or I can just say, yeah, I'll make it a 2 hour event. Let's do that. There we go. So now it's an event that's going to happen from 6 to 8. Actually, I don't like that. I'm going to make it a 1 hour event. Okay. Now, this 1 hour event, I can say that it's a daily event that's going to happen every day. Or we could say it's going to happen every other day or every third day. I can say every weekday. We can say this is going to be a weekly event that happens on every weekday by just clicking here. Or maybe it's every third week it's going to happen. I could say it's a monthly reoccurring event that's going to happen on the 11th of every fourth month. Completely customizable here. I can say this is going to happen on the second Wednesday of every third month, right? Every fifth month. A lot of configurability here. I can also make this a yearly event. I can say this is going to happen every year on June 11th. Or maybe we want this to happen on the second Tuesday of June. Completely configurable here. Now my goal is just to create an event that's going to happen for the month of May, and maybe this is going to be a weekly event that happens every day. So I'm going to make a weekly event that happens every day. This event, every weekday, this event will start on May 1st. Now I can say it does it forever after May 1st. I can say it does it for 4 occurrences, for 4 weeks. Or we could put in an end date, which is what I'm going to do. I'm going to say this is going to end on May 31st. So when I say OK now, we still have to fill in this information, right? So we got more information in the window here. I'll say this is, my training room 1, early May meeting. Location again is training room 1. We could put colors, right? I could change the color here. I can show the time, right? The bar that's there, we can change that color also. Just different visuals for you. I could put in more of an explanation here. Maybe who scheduled this, so you know who to go back to if you ever needed to, check why are we scheduling this, right? I could say it's scheduled by, and then maybe put my initials in here. That's not my initials. That's not either. That's my initials. Okay, done. So what did I just do? If I now go to the month of May, if I scroll up, there's my early meeting, right? If I want to see more days than just this one day, right before I was looking at a whole week view, I can right click, go to date, and I could choose to see this in a week calendar. Right now I'm looking at a whole week. Maybe I want to see this in a monthly calendar. Now I'm looking at the whole month. You can also show what you have selected. Maybe I want to see what's happening on the 4th of May. Now I'm going to hit my control button. The 11th, the 19th, the 25th, right? We're showing you what you have selected here. Maybe on these days something special is going to happen. Maybe on Wednesday, May 13th, we're not having the early meeting. So I can delete this. Delete this occurrence. So now on the 13th, the door won't open at 6 a.m. Maybe we're not starting the 8 o'clock class on the 13th until 10. And maybe it's going to be extended until 7 p.m. Right? Maybe on May 21st, maybe class is going to be extended. Maybe on the 25th, we're not having this class. I can delete this. Just this occurrence. So you can adjust what you have here, right? If we're not having the class on this Monday, I can't make it a holiday because the other time zones, we still need those to work, right? Just this one, I don't want it to do anything. Maybe the whole day we don't want anything, right? I can just delete that also. Done. So that's calendar managed time zones. Now you can go as far in advance as you want. Just make sure once you change this to a calendar managed time zone, if I came in here and I created the whole year with calendar managed time zones, if I was to come back into here again and now tell our software to no longer make these calendar managed, right? What if the customer wants to see these in intervals again? If I save this, the software warns you that any interval that was created after this week will be deleted. I can't go back again. Once I make these calendar managed time zones, they're going to stay as calendar managed time zones unless you kind of wanted to reset this back to just the weekly. I'm going to cancel this. I'm going to make sure I don't change that. So I'll put that back. Done. So we're back to our calendar managed here. So when you create your time zones, what you really want to get from this is make sure you name your time zones so we know if they're being used for cardholder access, are they being used for automatic overrides. Every time zone that you're going to use in the software is going to be programmed in this window. If I was in the alarm software and I want to create an alarm that maybe is going to alarm on door held opens, but I only want to alarm on door held opens that happen at night, I need to come into here in System Manager, create a time zone for my nighttime, right? Maybe I say this is going to be my door held open time zone, and it's going to be from 6 p.m. till 6 a.m. Monday through Friday, 24 hours on the weekends and holidays. You can do that, but the time zones are created here. So I would probably create an alarm time zone, right? Just make sure you name these so you know what's using them. That's it for this. So let me close out.